if purchased on the initial consultation. It's amazing. And you'll not pay a dime for a whole year. No money down, no interest, no payments for 12 months. Payments as low as $89 a month. Invest in your home. Heating bills are only going up. Renewal by Anderson's windows and patio doors could cut your bills significantly. Please do not wait, though. This sale ends October 15th. Renewal by Anderson's winter sale is on. Visit RBARapidCity.com. That's RBARapidCity.com to schedule your in-home consultation and get ready to hear these words this winter. It's so comfortable in here. By the way, have I told you lately how much I love you? RBARapidCity.com.
In Rapid City, you've got a friend in real estate. Hi, I'm Ellen Roach. When buying or selling your home or property, Will Dixon is the man to see.
Will invites you to experience the Keller Williams culture. Whether you're buying or selling, he can assist you through the entire process with a free market analysis and advise you on all your options. Will handles all phases of real estate and has built a track record for success. Call Will Dixon at Keller Williams Black Hills, 390-1140, and let him be your friend in real estate.
Get away from it all in the great outdoors for lasting family memories with a new or pre-owned RV from Dakota Discount RV. We make your RV experience fun and easy by providing you with a quality recreational vehicle, competitive pricing, and professional sales and service. Our large inventory of fifth-wheelers, travel trailers, toy haulers, and live-in horse trailers allows us to save our customers thousands of dollars compared to most dealers. Stop by and see us at Dakota Discount RV, 3330 East Mall Drive across from Cabela's and on JB Road, Blackhawk.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
In-day baseball, the Mariners have hit 3 home runs today against the Padres' Mike Clevenger, including a 3-run shot from Carlos Santana to extend the Mariners' lead 6-0 as they play the 5th inning. Giants on top of the Braves 4-1 in the 7th. Guardians topped the Angels today 5-3. Jose Ramirez, a 2-run shot in the 8th inning, broke a 3-3 tie and helped the Guardians now take a 4-game lead over the White Sox in the AL Central after Colorado topped Chicago 3-0. Pirates were 10-4 winners against the Reds. Astros, they beat the Tigers by a score of 2-1. Patriots quarterback Mac Jones was a full participant in practice today despite dealing with back spasms. He should go Sunday against the Steelers, who should have Najee Harris, the running back, dealing with a foot injury, but says he's good to go. Chargers won't have Keenan Allen tomorrow against the Chiefs, out because of a hamstring strain. Chiefs have ruled out kicker Harrison Butker because of his ankle injury. I'm Dan.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, live interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest local stories. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
Welcome in, everybody. How are you today? Middle of the week, Wednesday, the Nate Brown Show live. It's always a great day in the Black Hills, you bet. Thanks for being a part of the program. Hope you're having a solid day, solid week. We'll try and have a little fun today. Thought-provoking sports talk, great topics, great guests, good stuff across the board. Fox Sports Rapid City, the Nate Brown Show, brought to you in part by Black Hills Urgent Care, our official urgent care for Fox Sports Rapid City. 2 locations in Rapid City. Black Hills Urgent Care on Haynes Avenue and Mountain View Road on the west side there in Bacon Park. That's where I go. Me and my family go. Get better quicker. They're open 7 days a week. No appointment needed, but what I do a lot, schedule on my phone before you go. You have a daughter sick or something like that, you schedule on your phone, then you don't have to wait at all. You get right in when you get there. BHUcare.com. You can start there with the letter U. BHUcare.com. Schedule on your phone. Get the care. Black Hills Urgent Care, the faster way to get better. Getting us started on a Wednesday. We have some great guests. I told you we'll talk to Gary Sharp today. He's going to pop in. 1620 The Zone, Omaha. You bet. You want to hear Gary? We got Gary. All right, we're ready to go. Ben Verlander drops by. Major League Baseball still going on. You all know this, right? I mean, I know football. We got to go Major League Baseball. There's some intriguing storylines. As a matter of fact, I'm going to start my show with Major League Baseball today. I mean, this is going to be something. Ben Verlander's on the way, Major League Baseball analyst, Fox Sports. Sam Herder's in tonight. He's the FCS football analyst for Hero Sports. I think Sam's one of the best FCS football guys Talking Jacks, Bison, USD, the whole thing. Sam Herder's on the way, FCS football analyst, Hero Sports. College football NFL analyst Thor Nystrom is in from the Twin Cities. We'll get to Thor Nystrom, betting pros, fantasy pros, analyst Thor on the way. And we'll see if we can track down Matt McIntosh tonight, head coach, Rapid City Christian, trying to get him on as he's in practice and the whole thing, because that's the game of the week we'll have Saturday afternoon on Fox Sports Rapid City. Our high school football game of the week, Rapid City Christian hosting MVP. That's Mount Vernon Plankinton. That was a tough go for the Comets last year. I think Christian's better this year. It's still going to be a tough one Saturday afternoon. Talk to Matt McIntosh, his first-year head coach for Rapid City Christian. We'll try and track him down tonight. That game on Fox Sports Rapid City is Saturday afternoon, a 2 o'clock start time here with Jerome Wickersham and Dean Gurrs. We have some football talk to do. I will get to that, but I am going to start Major League Baseball somehow, some way. No, this is really intriguing to me. So before I get going, let's throw out the number if you want to be in today. 720-1067 is our number in the studio. Boss Pizzeria and Sports Bar, Sportsline live for you. 720-1067. Be a part of the program. I invite you in. You are invited. And also on the Barron's Wilson text line. Text the show directly. Comes right in here, 720-1067. Same number, but you text us on the Barron's Wilson text line. Now you know as we get going on a Wednesday. So I don't know when this all started. It's been a progression. It's been a progression. We didn't just wake up one day and say, this is what we're going to do, end of story. This season only, this is what we're going to do. You're a dummy if you don't do this, how we're supposed to do this in 2022 in Major League Baseball. This didn't just, it wasn't a flip of the switch. This has been a progression in Major League Baseball, and here's the thing about it, and I say you're a dummy if you don't do it right. That's what I feel like people are saying when it comes to this topic and when it comes to this scenario in Major League Baseball. They're saying you're a doofus if you want to do it another way, how it used to be done. You're a doofus. You're old school. You're an old man yelling at the clouds, Nate. I put myself in that category. You're welcome. There's no middle of the ground like, sometimes maybe we can push through it. Sometimes maybe we should look at the historical piece of this. Sometimes we should look at the accomplishment side of this. And maybe let this guy roll. Maybe let him roll. What am I referencing, baseball fans? Sports fans across the board. What am I referencing? So it's bigger than just last night, and I'll get to that. Last night, the Minnesota Twins had their rookie starter, Joe Ryan, going. I'm watching this as I was leaving the show last night. I'm like, hey, Joe Ryan started off hot this season, by the way, and then kind of, he hit some rough patches. He's rookie pitcher. It happens, right? Hit some rough patches. Joe Ryan, rookie starter for the Twins, has a no-hitter going last night against the Royals. He has a no-hitter going against the Royals through 7 innings. He's through 7 innings last night. And here it is, the attack of analytics. It's the analytic guys against the doofuses. And I say that because I kind of put myself in the doofus category sometime because I'm looking at this last night when Rocco Baldelli goes out there, and it's like, did Rocco Baldelli make the call, the manager of the Twins, to say, hey, Joe Ryan, yes, you're a rookie. Yes, you could be a part of history. Yes, this could be your biggest accomplishment in your career. You've got a no-hitter in Major League Baseball, what you've dreamed of as a kid, and you've got it going through 7 innings, and you're coming out. That's what happened last night. No-hitter through 7 innings. Joe Ryan for the Minnesota Twins, he was rolling. And again, this is started in Major League Baseball maybe 5 years ago. I have a tough time with my time as I get older, okay? I seem like this was yesterday, and I get it all mixed around. I think it was right in that time. Heavy analytics of we're going to start pulling guys really, really early. So everybody said to me when they did this to Clayton Kershaw back in April, Clayton Kershaw was rolling. He had a no-hitter as well, 13 strikeouts, by the way, against the Twins, which was interesting. He had a perfect game, Clayton Kershaw, at April 13th against the Twins. And Dave Roberts pulled him out after the 7th inning because, again, analytics, the pitch count's getting too high. And everybody said during that time, well, it's early, Nate. It's early in the season. You can't tear up Clayton Kershaw's arm. I mean, you can't do this. So I'm trying to figure out which way. Is there any way that a pitcher can finish a no-hitter today? We've had one this year. Reed Detmers. Reed Detmers had a no-hitter this year. So we've had one, but it's almost like, I mean, you like need the perfect scenario. It can't be early in the season. It can't be a young guy like Joe Ryan because you're worried about the arm. It can't be Clayton Kershaw because you're worried about the early part of the season and he's the ace and the arm and the whole thing. There is a fine margin now in Major League Baseball. Basically, it's taken out the no-hitter. It's taken out the no-hitter, and whether people want to admit it or not, I believe it's a bad look for the sport. So I'm a Minnesota Twins fan. I'm putting myself in this category. I'm a kid watching that last night. Joe Ryan blowing through guys. The Twins are trying to keep pace here. I don't know if they're going to get it done. Doesn't look great in the Central, but they're trying to keep pace, and it's September baseball, and you want something to be excited about, and Joe Ryan has a no-hitter, and they pull him. And what are we supposed to think as a fan of the sport? I guess, again, there's no middle of the road anymore. It's, well, you're a dummy if you think Joe Ryan should have pitched. He was at 106 pitch count. I don't know what's going to happen to Joe Ryan's arm if he has to pitch the 8th and the 9th, but I want to find out if he can get a no-hitter done. And I've said this could have been his biggest accomplishment in his career. It could have been a major thing for Joe Ryan, a major thing for the Twins fans, the whole thing. And I believe we have totally tweaked, and I think for the bad part of this, baseball has something here. No-hitter used to mean something, and now it's just totally taken out of the game. And I say it's a bad look. Why? Because it shows, it looks like lack of competitiveness. It looks like lack of, hey, we want to keep this thing going, grind through it. We want to see if this can be accomplished. There's a sense of urgency and sense of anticipation. When you have a no-hitter, there's something exciting. We can put it on SportsCenter. Let's watch the no-hitter. Joe Ryan's down to his final batter. And we take it out in the 7th inning. It looks like it looks like you give up. That's what it looks like. And people can say, Nate, you're stuck in the past. You're stuck in the past. This is real baseball. This is analytical baseball. Do you want Joe Ryan to have a no-hitter in a no-name game against the Royals, or do you want Joe Ryan to be a future pitcher for the Twins? So there is no more meeting in the middle. He's either going to blow his arm off last night, or if you take him out after 7 innings, no-hitter, then he'll be your future franchise pitcher, right? There's no more middle ground. I think it's a bad look. Guess what? It wasn't just Joe Ryan last night, Clayton Kershaw at the beginning of the year. This is a record this season only. This is a record. 5 pitchers have been pulled through 7 innings or more of no-hitters this year. That's a record. 5 guys had no-hitters. 5 guys got pulled. Thanks for calling. You're live, and you go ahead.
Well, nothing's real anymore, so.
What do you mean? That's a big statement. What do you got? What do you got?
Well, nothing's real no more in baseball. What's real in baseball anymore?
I don't know. You baffled me today.
Well, it's kind of like I've been saying about Kirk Cousins. Now I'm going to say it about Russell Wilson, and I can say it about 10 other guys. We cater to the athletes too much. We're worried about them. It's like not hitting or tackling in practice. When you get Gary Sharp on today, ask him about tackling in practice, what his view is.
I will. I will.
Do that because you're going to be shocked. The first thing Mickey Joseph said was, we are going to learn how to tackle.
Right. Well, yeah, right.
They haven't tackled in Nebraska practice in quite a while.
I want to ask you about this. You were on the right track, Steve. You said you cater to the athletes. That's what you feel this is, baseball.
Yeah, we don't want to ruin little Billy's arm. You know, I remember that old Texas coach back when Texas was good in baseball. I mean, good as going to the World Series every other year. Have you noticed how many Texas pitchers from the 70s, 80s, 90s that made it to the major leagues? Now, there's Clemens. There's that one whiner who ended up at Boston, the big guy. But they overthrew their arms. The kid's young. He's got plenty of time to be a star. Today wasn't it.
All right.
But as you guys are so freely to give Russell Wilson $167 million, this is my point on this, Nate, because I'm going back to yesterday. Who takes leadership of that team? A first-year head coach whose biggest accomplishment is I worked with Aaron Rodgers, or a quarterback that played in 2 Super Bowls? Who should have ran that clock? Who should have managed that game?
I'll tell you, you don't want to cater to the players, but, boy, we need that player. We need that player.
How's the boy going to learn how to – how's he going to learn how to hit? How's he going to learn how to do anything? That pitcher, I see kids in 12-year-olds throwing 4 different pitches. I'm like, yeah, you ain't going nowhere after 18. You know, come on, Nate. You're going to throw them arms out.
Oh, okay.
Nate, please.
All right.
How many players made it past 18 in this town in the last 10 years?
Which is it? Should this guy continue the no-hitter or not? I mean, answer that question.
No.
Huh?
No.
You're just going to pull him out. Would your boy Bob Gibson get pulled out? Would he get pulled out?
I'm starting to be like you guys, you know. Hell, there's Jimmy. Look at him. He looks like about 370. Hey, you go tell him we'll give him $10 million.
I'd love to see your guy Bob Gibson getting pulled out after a no-hitter in 7 innings. I'd love to see it.
Bob Gibson would have beat you up. But see, there you go, Nate. Guess what? When Bob Gibson played football in high school, guess what they did? They tackled.
I got you, man. We'll get into that next. We're
more men in them days, Nate. You cannot compare. If Bob Gibson had the same trainer as Kershaw, Bob Gibson would have never got beat. I mean, Kershaw, he's got a guy for his toenails,
and they'd pull him out, man. He wouldn't have any no-hitters in his career. All right.
Because just like Russell Wilson, they're there to be a robot. Oh, I'll let the coach do it, even though I played in 2 Super Bowls and I know how to manage a clock. They don't care.
Buddy.
They don't put that effort. There's no heart, Nate.
I got you. Thanks for getting in, as always. Appreciate it. We're getting started here on a Wednesday, the Nate Brown Show. My question of the day is this. Okay, let's break this down. Do you agree with pulling Major League Baseball pitchers that are in the middle of a no-hitter? Okay? Joe Ryan had one last night for the Twins. He was at 106 pitches. That's a lot. Okay? I mean, that's a lot. You're getting over 100. Clayton Kershaw wasn't even at that number, and he got pulled on April 13th, and everybody was, said, no, it was too early in the season. You can't try for that. It's just too early in the season. It's like, there's no scenario now where you can go for a no-hitter anymore, which I think is a big thing in baseball. I think it's a big thing for Joe Ryan's career. And you just look at the analytics, and we ruin the intrigue of sports. Don't tell me about the analytics of sports. We ruin the intrigue of sports, the stories in sports. What's better, the story in sports of Joe Ryan or Rocco Baldelli coming out? Boy, got to get him out. Got to get him out because we're going to need Joe Ryan here. Joe Ryan may not even be there in 2 years. I hate to break it to you, I hate to break it to you. I think it's bad for the game in general. I don't have to just, break everything out now and 5 guys get pulled out this year, a record number ever in the history of Major League Baseball. Had a no-hitter through 7 innings or more, 5 guys pulled, and everybody says the baseball guys are way smarter than the guys of old. They're way, way smarter now. Thanks for calling. You're live today, and you go ahead.
And baseball can't figure out why they're losing popularity.
Well, really?
No, I mean, that's why. I mean, last night I heard about it. Usually I watch a lot of Twins, and I turned it on, and I'm like, they're pulling them out? I just can't figure this out anymore. And Steve blows me away. I didn't hear him say that. I never would have thought he'd say to pull them out in the 7th inning.
No. Hey, it's a new
I listen
day.
to him every day on your show, and I'm like, wait a minute.
It's a new day. It's always a surprise.
But no, it's like a running back. Gets 190 or gets close to whatever the record would be, 220 yards, and they pull him out because they've handed it off way too many times. He's had too many touches.
That's right. That's a good comparison, right?
So, I mean, it's like I just don't get it anymore. I know they're trying to protect everybody, but that's society in a nutshell right there. It's like we can't work through anything anymore.
No, I agree. I do agree with that. People don't like this word. It looks soft. I think it does. So. It does. Thanks, buddy.
I'm on the same page. Yeah,
I appreciate it. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. I mean, people get upset at me when I say that. No, don't call people soft. I understand. There's a lot of really, really tough folks out there in this world. And you look at the strategic plays that we make in sports, and we go, boy, if he went over 106 last night for the Twins, if he went over 106 pitch count, Joe Ryan's career is going to be ruined. I understand the arm, the wear and tear, the whole thing. But there is no other arguments now. You can't even listen to the other argument. You can't even listen to, hey, maybe we should go for this thing. Let alone we get hung up in the analytics. It was 6-0. He was cruising. He might have just cruised right through the 8th and 9th inning. No hitter, end of story, excitement, career best for Joe Ryan, and a huge accomplishment in his career. And we don't even let him do it anymore. I mean, it's bizarre. Listener text coming in, 720-1067. Listener text, I knew you would talk about this, Nate. It was a sham of a decision. The kid should have been able to try for it. At the top of the 8th, he had 101 pitches. He deserved the chance. Or check that, 101 innings. The only way it seems he has to be under 90 pitches leading into the 8th. Maybe that's when he could have done it. Listener text, 720-1067 if you want in. My question of the day, what's your answer to it? Do you agree with pulling Major League Baseball pitchers that are in the middle of a no-hitter? That's my question. What's the answer? 67% of you say no, you got to let them finish. 33% say yes, save their arm and their health. Save their arm and their health. Let's see. Listener text, do we know if their contracts say they are only allowed to pitch so many innings? Question mark. It's all the agents wanting to make careers longer. Interesting. I sure wouldn't think that Joe Ryan's contract has an innings limit. I mean, he's, as far as coming off of an injury or anything like that, that might be one thing. But so rookie starter, having a nice year for the Twins. He was good early on, then kind of came back to reality. But I think it's bad for the game. It looks like you're bagging it, you're giving up. It looks like you're taking the intrigue out of sports, the storyline out of sports, and you're going, some guy upstairs said that Joe can't pitch past 105 pitches. So, well, what do you mean? He's cruising. Hey, Joe, how you doing? We go out and talk to the pitcher. How's your arm doing? How you feeling? No, we don't do it anymore. Well, you're gone. You're just out. 5 guys. I thought that was interesting. One of the huge stats from last night. Twins pitcher pulled by Rocco Baldelli, and it's the 5th starter pulled during a no-hitter this year, the most ever. Thanks for calling. You're live today, and you go ahead.
Hey, Nate, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. What do you think?
Well, the Dodgers did this earlier with Kershaw.
Yes.
Sure Hall of Famer, and you can't even trust the Hall of Famer to finish the game and get a no-hitter? I mean, really? That's why baseball has really gone, to me, I can't watch a full game anymore. They're just ruin the game for me. I guess I'm a baseball purist, but...
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Let's say you're a passionate Twins fan last night, and Joe Ryan's got a no-hitter. This is a guy you've watched all year. He's done a nice job. He's got a no-hitter. It's September. You're like, hey, this is a big thing. And he gets pulled. I mean, that is crazy to me. It's crazy.
Well, I played back all the way through college where I called my own pitches. I never had a coach call pitches for me. It was my job to know what the hitters' weaknesses are based on their previous at-bats. Well, I never had a problem calling pitches, and I did a pretty damn good job, I think. And that's another thing that I don't like. They've ruined it. We never used to keep track of pitch counts. The manager just basically went by, is the guy still getting hitters out? Are they hitting a lot of line drives and starting to hit the ball hard? That was kind of the indicator whether to pull somebody. We never track pitches like they do now. I mean, it's ridiculous. And I understand it for Little League. And maybe
development. I get that. Totally.
You'll have managers, ruin a good pitcher just because they want to keep him in there because he's effective. So I understand that. But these guys, pitch counts now, and like I said, it's all metrics now. Launch angle, and we don't.
Yeah, it's you just said it. It's metrics. It's analytics. Yeah. It's not stories. Yeah. It's not intrigue. That's my take on it. That's my take on it.
We got hitters that can't bunt anymore. We don't even hardly hit and run anymore, or steal bases anymore. And then this new rule we're talking about next year, where you're only allowed to throw over twice. Well, if I'm a base runner, okay, the guy throws over twice in the same batter, I must have taken a 10-foot lead, right? You can't throw over there anymore.
I got you. I got you.
I mean, I just don't. It's totally ruined the game for me.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for getting in, as always. I wanted to get the audience reaction to this one because maybe I'm not the only guy yelling at the clouds today. By the way, those fans, listener text coming in, I think the fans booing when the Royals got that hit spoke volumes. Oh, no question. By the way, I didn't even talk about what happened afterwards because it was over. I mean, the Twins were up 6-0. They were going to win. It's fine. Although I've seen bad things happen. But they lost the no-hitter, by the way, the reliever. Okay? He lost the no-hitter, the combined no-hitter. What a word. I never thought we'd have that. The combined no-hitter, so neat to see. He lost it. And, yes, the fans weren't too happy. I'd be ticked about this. I think baseball has an issue with it. They're way smarter than everybody. They're going to put this batter against this pitcher. They're going to do this, and it's taken the intrigue out of the game. It's taken a major, major historical aspect out of the game. It really has. And the Twins did it last night. That set the record. 5 pitchers having no hitters through 7 innings or more this season pulled out. The most ever in the game. Gary Sharp's next as we get started with the Huskers. This is a big story. We're going to talk about it. Where are the Huskers going? Where are they going from here? Oh, I've got another Husker question of the day. I've got another one. Let's do it. Gary Sharp, 1620 The Zone, live.
Show on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM Fox Sports Rapid City.
Before you buy, shop Gateway Autoplex. Are you looking to trade your vehicle and get ready for winter? Well, stop into the nicest pre-owned inventory of Fords, Lincolns, Dodges, Chevys, and save thousands. Hey, and Gateway's looking for some more inventory, so if you want to sell your car, truck, or SUV, stop on down for an offer today.
So for the best car buying experience in Rapid City or the best credit rebuilder program, stop down to 410 North Campbell Street or 123 Omaha. I'm Scott Hanna.
And I'm Adam Ray.
And nobody, I mean nobody,
beats a Gateway deal.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Mainly cloudy tonight with scattered thunderstorms likely. Lows dip down to about 59. Winds out of the north 8 to 15 miles per hour. Cloudy tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 75. Overcast skies again tomorrow night. Lows dip down to about 54. Upper 70s Friday and Saturday with storms possible both days. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 85.
We're all going somewhere. Going higher, faster, farther. Going in new directions, to new places. At Monument Health, we keep going so you can keep going. We're dedicated to advanced orthopedic care with the latest innovations, technology, expertise, and treatment. So keep exploring, keep making memories, keep going with Monument Health as your partner. Learn more at monument.health/orthopedics.
It's used truck month at Denny Menholt Rapid Chevrolet. Choose from over 360 used trucks and SUVs, many late model local trades, Fords, GMCs, Rams, imports, and more. Half tons, 3/4 tons, and heavy duty trucks. Plus the area's best selection of used and certified pre-owned Chevys. Financing available on the spot with no money down to qualified buyers. The Black Hills best selection of used trucks and SUVs is all on sale right now at one location at Denny Menholt Rapid Chevrolet or DennyMenholtRapidChevrolet.com.
With home values rising in the Black Hills, a cash-out refinance loan from Black Hills Community Bank is a great way to get ahead. Thinking about home improvements or projects? Apply for a cash-out refinance loan from Black Hills Community Bank. You may have cash in your house that you didn't even know about, and you can put it to good use. Think about the potential of what you can do with a cash-out refinance loan. Get started on your cash-out refinance loan application today at bhcbank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, Rapid City, it's Doug Gottlieb. Join me weekdays from 1 to 4 right here on 106.7 FM and 11:50 a.m. Fox Sports Rapid City. And now let's get you back to the Nate Brown Show, Rapid City's Sports Talk.
Hey, welcome back in the Nate Brown Show on a Wednesday. How are you today? Doing all right? Hey, we're plugging away here, man. We're plugging away. Fox Sports Rapid City. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoy some of this stuff. Some of it. You don't have to enjoy all of it. Some of it. New content each time out. Somebody was saying, hey, do you repeat stuff? Somebody was saying that. I don't know, but we don't repeat guests. We don't repeat segments. Maybe I repeat myself sometimes. We don't repeat guests. We don't repeat segments. Okay? You can listen to the podcast if you miss anybody. Okay? We got new content right out of the gate every segment. So thanks for tuning in right now with Gary Sharp, 1620 The Zone, Omaha, Huskers. Got to talk Huskers, man. It's a big week. Fox Big Noon kickoff's coming to town. Oklahoma's coming to town. Scott Frost is out. I mean, this is a wild week in Lincoln and Omaha, Nebraska. Gary Sharp on tonight. Gary, thanks for the time. How are you? Are you there? Can you hear me? Maybe? Gary? Maybe? No? Well, he was there. He looked to be there. Doesn't seem like he's gone. Maybe he is gone. Okay, let's see if we can get Gary back. For some reason, he's not plugged in. And I think we have Gary waiting in the wings. Hang on. Huskers 1620 The Zone in Omaha. We'll see if we can get him. Gary, can you hear me at all? One more chance. No? All right. Let's see if he can get back. We'll see if we can get him. In the meantime, hang on. We might have him. It's live radio. It is live radio. Do I have Gary Sharp? I think I do. Do I?
Yes, Nate, I was just going to tell you, you're not repeating stuff, but what happens here in Lincoln and Omaha and Nebraska is on repeat with Nebraska football.
You are correct. You are correct. It's one of those things, Gary, that I'm serious about this. Let's go back now. Before we go forward, let's go back. When you think about the time of Bo Pelini, did the Huskers make a mistake by setting themselves up for they had expectations of Tom Osborne, and nobody could ever fill those shoes? Is that still the case?
No, I don't. And that's from the outside. I mean, Nate, you know enough about the people that cheer for Nebraska and cover Nebraska. You know enough about Nebraska football. And I don't think, people from the outside will like to use the word delusional and desperate. I would say probably the Solich era on the heels of T.O. and that magical run, that was the standard. Like, then the game changed. But the people are not delusional around here. They are not wanting to go back to the 80s and 90s. That's just low-hanging fruit. People here just want good, respectable, well-played football that gives you a chance to be successful, to win your division, and have a chance to compete for a Big Ten championship. That's all people want here. The standards are still high. They haven't lowered them around here. They're just very realistic, and we're not going back. We're going forward, and that's one of the great things that Trev Alberts said the other day is we're not talking about the championships anymore. That's in the past. That's a good-looking trophy case, but they've got to move forward, and that's the theme this week of this program is it didn't work out with Scott. You and I have talked so many times, Nate. I'll never understand how a guy had a golden opportunity and messed it up, but at the end of the day, he was not built for what this job is, on and off the field. And they have to move forward, and they move forward quicker than a lot of people thought after what happened against Georgia Southern. Instead of waiting until October 1, Trev said, I can't wait any longer. We've got to do it. Money doesn't matter. I owe it to the people that we need to make a statement that we got to move the program forward, and winning matters, and he did that on Sunday.
Okay, I thought this was tough stuff here. I'm looking at some of the media down there in Nebraska last couple of days. Here's one thing that comes out. Scott Frost didn't have the commitment. He didn't have the commitment to the program in a lot of ways. That's getting into the weeds here. What's your reaction to that?
Well, here's the thing, and you're absolutely right. It's kind of weird around here. We're in day 3 of this coaching search, and I mean, the thing is, you got 9 more games to go. There's no coaches that are available to just come on into Lincoln, except for the guy that's going to be on Big Noon Kickoff, Urban Meyer, but that's been knocked around all over the place about would he be a candidate for Nebraska. That's for a whole other show. Here's the thing. There were things about Scott in his toolbox that didn't make him successful here. You've got to, and this is why Mickey Joseph is intriguing to me. This job, the culture of the job of the Nebraska football coach, commands you to be a grinder, commands you to check your ego, commands you to be good at your job every single day and get better every day. And I think Scott, he wasn't equipped to do those things. He was not so much ill-equipped, but he was ill-prepared to be the football coach at Nebraska on how he approached it. And we've talked about this. This isn't anything new. And when you're 16-31, sometimes you go, you're just a bad coach. But then there are other reasons why you lose in close games. Okay, the athletic director has been telling everybody for a year plus about what he sees. Now, he didn't go into the weeds and say, hey, the head coach was late coming to practice. He didn't return phone calls of recruits that wanted to commit. We need consistency. We need attention to details. We need to be better at blank, blank, and blank. Trev Alberts told you everything that he observed of Scott and thought that if Scott could correct those for the first time in his Nebraska career, you could move the program forward and you would see it on the field. It didn't happen. So, yes, that's a tone today that people are coming at the media for, hey, Scott's out. Now you're going after him and you're bringing up all these old stories. On my show with my partner Damon Benning, who played with Scott at Nebraska, we've essentially told people, hey, this is going on. This is why they can't get over the hump. And it has nothing to do with talent. It has with your day-to-day details and accountability, and that's been lacking. And, that's something that's got to be improved moving forward. I will tell you, with Mickey Joseph on the job for 3 days, Nate, we've seen that. He's holding guys accountable, and that's what this program needs. I don't know if that means they're going to upset Oklahoma, but I will tell you that moving forward, I think you might see a different player or two or an aspect of Nebraska's game that gets unlocked because they're holding players accountable. They're holding themselves accountable. That's what's been needed, and for the first time, I really believe in 4 years that's going to happen.
Really interesting. Gary Sharp on 1620 The Zone, his show with Damon Benning in the morning. Gary Sharp, 1620. He's on Twitter. You can follow him. He joins us on the Nate Brown Show tonight. Let's get into this. I think about Mickey Joseph, what he said yesterday, and I hit on it on my show. He said, hey, we're going to start tackling. These guys can tackle well if they're allowed to do it. You know, some people say, okay, here we go. This is old school. They're going to be tackling. What's your take on this? Did it get a little soft? I mean, they're not the only program that takes it easy.
Yeah, you weigh the balance of, man, I don't want to get guys hurt in practice. But you can fix tackling without just going all, hey, 50 plays, we're just beating each other up. I mean, a lot of programs this time of the year, they are tackling in practice. They're studying up where you might bring them to the ground and the coach goes, hey, on to the next one. Where you go good on good for 10 to 15 plays. Here's what I think has ailed Nebraska, and I don't know why they went with this approach in fall camp. And maybe it had to do with the early starts at Northwestern and they're going overseas, is running practice at full speed. Because you can say, hey, that linebacker doesn't do a good job of tackling. Well, that run fit that he's got to get into, is he seeing that look at full speed? Or is the first time he sees that look at full speed is in a game on Saturday? So that's where I noticed a change today. They went full pads today. They've taken away the black shirts, so there's no more black shirts on defense. And they are going full speed, not necessarily physical and tackling. There is that element, but they're going full speed. And I think that's an adjustment that is much, much needed. And I'm surprised it took this long.
That's interesting. So people say in this coaching search, well, Mickey Joseph, he's going to want to get it. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but we'll see how things roll here. So long search, long process. People say, is Nebraska still a great job? And I look at it, Gary, and I go through the list. Money, not a problem. Fan support, unbelievable. Facilities, new ones coming, top-notch, getting better. Ability to win, well, Big Ten West isn't that hard. So I say, how good's the job, really?
It's a good job. You know, maybe the only hesitation is the geographical location, but you can fix that with the way you recruit. And there's talent in the state of Nebraska, from your side of the state of Nebraska to my side of the state of Nebraska, has improved. We've got 10 players in the state that have Power 5 offers. We're going to have a high 4-star in this class, 2 high 4-stars in the 24 class, 2 high 4-stars in the 25 class. Nebraska's got to do a better job of giving them a reason for those guys to stay home. But you're absolutely right. There are a lot of built-in advantages. I think, you know, because you've been beat down, you look and go, oh, no one's going to come here. Hey, look at that list. How come Nick Saban and Urban Meyer aren't on that list? Well, that list is going to be so long and so drawn out. I mean, we're going to go about 80 days in a coaching search. But you have, for the first time, a Big Ten school that's got that future TV money, even though the check's not in the bank yet. They're going to be able to go out and they're going to be able to pursue a prospect with money will not be an issue. They open a state-of-the-art football facility next summer. NIL is very, very strong around here. And as you mentioned, a fan base and in a division and in a conference that is very attractive to people. So this job is a good job. Is it a great job? No. But it's a good job, a very good job. But it comes back to the person selling. You know, Nate, when you got the job where you're at now, you might have been hesitant on the company and doing your show in the afternoon. But whoever was selling you, they did a great job of selling you. But this is a good job and what the potential can be. That's where Trev Alberts comes into play. He has familiarity with what it takes to be the head coach here, what it's like to be here. It's his job to sell to the candidate that he wants that this job has so much. The ceiling is so high in Nebraska, and it is far from being reached, and you're the guy to do it.
Okay, last one for Gary Sharp. I'll let him run. Covers the Huskers, 1620, The Zone, Omaha. If you could pull out one thing here, Gary, that you believe, where was Scott the weakest when it comes to his tenure there? Was it recruiting? When you really get down to it, was it the work and the grind of recruiting, or am I wrong?
The recruiting was good. It was simply a mistake at the beginning of he brought his entire staff from Central Florida, and they underestimated. They had no respect for their own division. They didn't respect Iowa. They didn't respect Wisconsin. They thought that what they did at Central Florida would click right away, and he brought his entire staff, and let's be honest, there were probably 4 to 5 guys on that staff that were good at Central Florida, not good in the Big Ten. And Scott was really loyal and waited a while to make some changes, either on his own or being forced to. And I think that set them back in the development on the field. Recruiting was okay. Retention was a problem, but developing players was even more of an issue. And I think that's where he had a weak staff. I actually think his staff is pretty good right now, or the staff in Nebraska is pretty good. But, man, it took 5 years to get to this point.
Gary Sharp on tonight. Great to have him. 1620 The Zone, his show every morning in Omaha. Find him on Twitter at Gary Sharp 1620. Gary, always appreciate you, man. Thanks.
Hey, thanks, Nate.
Appreciate your time. Gary Sharp in tonight on the Nate Brown Show, Fox Sports Rapid City. Gary Sharp from 1620 The Zone in Omaha. Boy, they are. There's some stuff coming out down in the Nebraska world now it's iffy. Because I don't know what to buy, what not to buy. I don't know. And this isn't like anonymous bloggers, Twitterverse. This isn't that. It's like guys in the media down there saying that, Scott Frost, there was just a lack of commitment overall. Was late to some practices. Didn't call some recruits back. Iffy things there. And I don't know about all that. I don't know how all that factors in, but it was a rough go. I mean, it is the story. I mean, Nebraska fans that love Scott Frost from his background and his history, they're going to love Scott Frost, the player. As the coach, he was 16-31. Mike Riley was 19-19. I mean, nobody could stand him, right? Mike Riley was 19-19, and he was showing the door, right? So Scott had his chance. He had his chance. And now it's Mickey Joseph. I've got a question of the day about the next Husker coach. The next Husker coach. And, boy, there's a lot of people that are already chiming in on Twitter on this, so I'm going to bring it to the radio side here. Hang on. First, we'll shift to this, Major League Baseball. I hate how it's trended this way, taking out guys that are in a historic run of pitching a no-hitter. And we pulled out the most pitchers ever in the history of the game in a current no-hitter. Ben Verlander, Major League Baseball analyst, one of those young guys. What does he say of, an old curmudgeon like me? Fox Sports, Major League Baseball. Ben Verlander live next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show, The Nate Brown Show, on FoxSportsRapidCity.com and live on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
This house is freezing again. Winter is coming. Will it be cold inside your house again? Scan the QR code on your screen right now. Renewal by Anderson's incredible Winter is Coming sale is here. Buy one window or patio door. Get the second one of equal or lesser value for 40% off. Plus an additional 5% off the entire project if purchased on the initial consultation. And listen to this. No money down, no interest, no payments for 12 whole months. Payments as low as $89 a month. Hurry, this sale ends October 15th. Scan that code. Visit RBARapidCity.com now.
At Physio, we want to be your trusted partner for physical therapy, athlete development, and sports rehab. As the official strength and conditioning partners for Stevens, Central, Douglas, and the Rapid City Rush, our team at Physio is building the best athletes in the Black Hills. If you have an athlete in the family, we offer long-term athlete development at affordable prices for middle and high school students. We also have the only board-certified sports PT in Rapid City. At our brand new facility, Physio is ready to help you perform at your best. One-on-one physical therapy, athlete development, and sports rehab, all at one place. Get started at bhphysio.com.
Hey sports fans, it's Rob from the Firehouse Skybox, inviting you to make us your home for the NFL this season. We really wanted Rapid City to have a premier sports bar with great service and great food, and that's why we started the Skybox. We have 35 big screens, we'll show every NFL game all season long. Plus we'll have great specials for you to join us on Monday nights, Thursday nights, and all day, of course, on Sunday. The Skybox has the best food and the best experience for NFL football. Check us out on game days, and we look forward to serving you at the Skybox above the Firehouse in downtown Rapid City.
Customer service and knowledge. You expect it, and we provide it. As a general insurance agency, Fisher Rounds & Associates has aligned itself with the nation's strongest carrier networks, giving you the highest quality coverage at the best possible price. When it comes to claims or other issues, we handle everything so you don't have to. That's what we mean when we say we're at your service and at your side. Fisher Rounds and Associates, proudly serving South Dakota with offices in Pierre, Mitchell, Rapid City, Sioux Falls, and Watertown.
Every day, you share personal information about yourself with others. You may write a check, charge fuel, rent a car, mail your tax returns, schedule a doctor's appointment, or post something on social media. Each transaction may share some sort of personal information, such as bank and credit card account numbers, social security number, name, address, or phone number. There are unscrupulous individuals, identity thieves, targeting these routine transactions, trying to gain your information to commit fraud. If you think somebody has stolen your identity, contact Consumer Protection at 1-800-300-1986.
Hi, it's Colin Coward. Great to be in the Black Hills. Getting the Herd weekdays 10 to 1 on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports.
Welcome back in. Your sports, your show, the Nate Brown Show, Fox Sports Rapid City, 106.7 FM, 1150 AM. We're live there on the radio side. Bring us up anywhere. FoxSportsRapidCity.com. The live stream always there. FoxSportsRapidCity.com. And this show, always the podcast available. We're live weekdays 4 to 6, but if you can't catch some of the guests or you listen to 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 hours, you listen to 2 hours? Amazing. My wife doesn't even do that. Amazing. No, if you want to catch the show, the Nate Brown Show podcast is out there. Listen at your own convenience. Download it where you find your podcasts. The Nate Brown Show podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon. It's out there. Well, this podcast is baseball's podcast, man. It's Flippin' Bats. Flippin' Bats pod. Fox Sports Major League Baseball analyst. It is Ben Verlander. It's mid-September. October's almost here. Ben Verlander back on Fox Sports Rapid City. Ben, good to have you. How are you?
I'm doing great, Nate. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate your time, as always. I want to get into something. I started my show with baseball today, okay, my opening monologue with baseball mid-September, and I said, I got to do this. Twins, Joe Ryan going for a no-hitter again. Here it is. No-hitter through 7 innings. He's pulled out. So Major League Baseball has set a record with 5 guys having a no-hitter this year, Ben, through 7 or more, and getting pulled out. It's the most ever in the game. I get the analytics. I get the whole thing, the pitch count. Is this bad for the game overall when a casual sports fan's watching that last night?
Yeah, I think so. But, some of that number, you mentioned 6 guys, and that's a record. Some of them had no chance. And there were some of them early in the year. I believe Kershaw was one early in the year. Was pulled fairly early in a start, but it was his first start back. But there are some where guys pulled around 100 pitches with a chance to do it, and in the older days it would have gotten done. Look, I like to think now, middle of the season, end of the season, a guy's rolling. If he has it, let him keep going and pull him the second he gives up the no-hitter. But I wish, to an extent, the guys were able to stay in and get it done. Obviously, when they start getting up around that 140 pitch mark, that's not what you want. But if a guy's under that, I say let him try it and let him have at it. So that's not what's happening in baseball, as you mentioned. And I think in the long run, I think for the casual fan watching, they're kind of along the lines of, well, what's going on? Why can't we give him a chance? So I'm with you there.
Okay, so you threw out the number, and pitching. Your brother's an unbelievable pitcher. 140. You're like, man, that's getting up there. That's getting to be a lot. Joe Ryan last night was at 106. He had 2 innings left. And I say this could be a massive thing for his career, right? I mean, he's a rookie pitcher. The historical aspect, I just think it takes away the intrigue that was usually there.
I agree. And he was at an acceptable number, I think, to let him keep going. And who knows, maybe they mentioned to him, maybe they talked to him about it and said, hey, do you want to keep going? I doubt it, because I feel like watching him, saying the competitor he is, he wanted to keep going. But he obviously didn't get to keep doing that. So we'll see. It keeps happening more and more. I do look at a number around 140 and say, obviously a guy can't get to that. But if you look at 15 pitches an inning, there's a chance that Joe Ryan gets it done around 130 pitches, around 135 pitches. So I would have liked to see that keep going.
Okay, so you give me your side of this now. The other side really quick is the analytical side. When did this really start coming to a head here? Because I'm saying it feels like, well, we set a record now this year for those pitchers being pulled, but it feels like this has happened more and more. When did this really take off where managers basically are told, hey, you got to get these guys out?
Yeah, I think within the last 10 years or so, we've been saying that as the game has shifted more analytical. Some teams still aren't there where the call is coming from the top, and some teams have been there for 10 years. And I think the more analytical teams got there quicker. And now we're seeing sort of teams figure out, okay, there's got to be a middle ground here. There has to be a manager on the field that knows what he's doing, that listens to the analytics, but has some feel for the game of baseball. Because for a while we saw some managers that just didn't have much success in an area, that were listening from the top, would do exactly what they were told to do. And when nobody's baseball fingerprint is on the pulse, you run into some problems. So I think we're starting to get into a better place where people realize, okay, analytics are super important and they have a place in the game of baseball, but so do baseball minds. So do managers and players that just have a feel for the game. So we're starting to find that middle ground. But I'd say it's been around for about a decade now. Ben
Verlander in, Major League Baseball analyst, Fox Sports, on tonight here on the Nate Brown Show, his podcast, Flippin' Bats. Let's go. Stay in the AL Central there. Twins are 5.5 back. I don't know if they're going to get this done. It's a tough road. They're 500. I look at the White Sox. How tough is this White Sox situation with Tony La Russa, the health issue, that whole deal?
I think it's a very tough situation. Obviously you want him to be healthy. You want everything to be okay. And you and I have talked about it on this show, and many people have said that Tony La Russa isn't the right fit for that team. And when they weren't playing great, they probably need to make a change of manager. But that obviously didn't happen. He's been the guy, and the team hasn't been very good all year long. They've been a 500 baseball team with the talent of a much better than that. And then Tony La Russa, unfortunately, has to step aside for a little while and leave the game, and the team takes off. They played great baseball. They're playing better with him being gone. And, whether that's a coincidence or not, the optics of it aren't great. So it's a tricky situation of, okay, like, this guy probably wasn't the right guy. He has to step away for a little while. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants, everybody's hopeful he's okay. But then it just becomes, okay, you stepped away. The team's been playing good. What do you do now? And I'm under the philosophy of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and keep going with that. But obviously everybody hopes Tony La Russa is okay. But I'll be interested to see what they do here in the coming weeks.
Okay, I'll ask you about this. Aaron Judge hits 56 and 57. He's getting more pitches as strikes, the most ever, in September than he has all season. Are you pitching to him?
I'm not. I don't know why anybody is at this point. The season he's having is unbelievable. He has been incredible. It is such a blast to watch him every night. He has 3 or 4 games in a row where he doesn't hit a home run. People start freaking out. Next thing you know, he's hitting 2 in a game like we just saw last night. So I don't know. It looks like every once in a while he's getting some meatballs thrown up there, and I certainly wouldn't be doing that. I'd be putting up 4 fingers and pointing to first base.
Highest percentage of strikes being thrown to Aaron Judge in September than any other month this season, and he's on a run. Last one for Ben Verlander, Fox Sports Major League Baseball analyst. Mets or Braves? Who wins that?
Good question. I love both of these teams. I think they're both so good. We've seen that lead dwindle down from over 10 games to where it is now, a back and forth in the division. And it's for no fault of the Mets. It's just been the Braves have been the best team in baseball since the beginning of June. So I like both of these teams. They're now neck and neck. So for that reason, I think, and I hate doing this in baseball, you never want to look at a schedule. But it's hard to not look at the schedule when it comes to the Mets and say, they're going to be fine for the rest of the season. I mean, listen to these teams that they have to play the rest of the way. And there is one series with the Braves in there, but they play the Cubs, the Pirates, the A's, the Marlins, and the Nationals. and then the Braves series is mixed in there, the second to last series of the year. So for that reason, I really believe that the Mets can hold on here.
Going Mets in the NL East. It's a tight one. Ben Verlander tonight. Download his podcast, Flippin' Bats. Find him at foxsports.com, on Twitter at Ben Verlander. Ben, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Of course, Nate. Thanks for having me as always.
I appreciate your time. Ben Verlander joining us on Fox Sports Rapid City. Major League Baseball analyst, man, his brother having another nice season. Justin, Cy Young winner, maybe another one. Flippin' Bats podcast. Download it. You've got it. Find him on Twitter at Ben Verlander. Good stuff. Good stuff tonight. So he doesn't like pulling out pitchers, and he's a young guy. He's like analytics guy too, but he doesn't like pulling out pitchers either. And he's a baseball guy. I mean, he's the baseball nut. And so I was thinking, he was like, hey, you got to understand, you got to be careful with these younger guys or whoever it is and stuff like that. But the old curmudgeon Nate Brown on the same page with Ben Verlander, you got to keep the pitchers in. If they have a no-hitter, they're at 100 pitches, you got to keep them in. Let them finish it out. The days of Jack Morris are gone, right? I get it. But, man, so many pitchers pulled out this year, a record of no-hitters through 7 innings or more. What do you think of that? Do you agree with Major League Baseball pitchers in the middle of a no-hitter getting pulled? 68% on the Nate Brown Show say no, you got to let them try and finish. 32% voting yes. Think about their arm and health. It's one of those things. You can think about their health, their arm. I believe you asked that pitcher last night, Joe Ryan for the Twins. I believe you asked him. I can't take the GM and the front office upstairs controlling the in-game action. That's where the baseball analytics lose me. That's where it loses me. I can't take those big decisions coming down, affecting a in-game decision when it's like, hey, you got to have a feel for the game. A feel for how the game is going, how is the player doing. The analytics are smart, I get it. But sometimes if you can also have the pulse of the player, the pulse of the game and the situation. I believe that, and baseball just leaves it in the dust. They just leave it in the dust. It's all analytics. And, by the way, how's the analytics game working out for the Twins? They're 70-70. Sam Herder's on the way, FCS football analyst. I want to ask him about this big matchup of an FCS team against a Pac-12 team. Who would you take here? Sam Herder next.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City.
Great news from Dale's Tire and Retreading. We are now part of the Pops Tire Service Network. Same 2 locations, new name. Pops Tire is committed to the same great service that Dale's has provided Rapid City. Pops is one of the largest commercial tire and retread dealers in the country. Whatever your tire choice, make Pops your choice. We welcome this opportunity to support and grow with the Dale's Tire customers. Visit your local Pops for all your auto, light truck, commercial, and farm tire needs.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Mainly cloudy tonight with scattered thunderstorms likely. Lows dip down to about 59. Winds out of the north 8 to 15 miles per hour. Cloudy tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 75. Overcast skies again tomorrow night. Lows dip down to about 54. Upper 70s Friday and Saturday with storms possible both days. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 85.
September marks First Gold's 32nd anniversary, and we're celebrating with a $79,800 cash and promo play giveaway. Win $500 at the top of every hour and another $200 every 15 minutes from 5 till 11 p.m. Friday and Saturday night, and from noon to 5 p.m. on Sunday. Plus, don't miss the $3,200 in cash anniversary drawings at 10 p.m. Friday and Saturday night. It's the 32nd anniversary of First Gold Gaming Resort. It's where Deadwood begins and the winning never ends.
Think Nessie is real? Maybe. But CD rates of 2.18%? Absolutely real. A CD rate that's hard to believe is yours right now at Highmark Credit Union. Earn up to 2.18% on an 18-month certificate with a bump-up feature, or up to 1.75% interest on a 5-month certificate. There's a $500 minimum investment, limited time offer. Select from a variety of CDs and put your money to work at Highmark Credit Union. We'll make it happen. HighmarkFCU.com.
Hey, it's Chris Broussard. Remember to catch the Odd Couple weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. right here on Fox Sports Rapid City. And now, let's get back to Rapid City Sports Talk Show, The Nate Brown Show.
Welcome back in on a Wednesday, the Nate Brown Show live, Fox Sports Rapid City. Stream us there, foxsportsrapidcity.com on your phone. If you get out of range on the radio, you can always bring us up on your phone wherever you're at, foxsportsrapidcity.com. You don't want to pull up the radio at home or anything, just pull up your phone, foxsportsrapidcity.com. You can listen live right there. I just had somebody say, hey, I'm trying to listen to all your segments, and so I stop in the garage, and I sit in my car in the garage until you wrap something up. It's like, hey, no. It's okay. You can go in, say hi to the wife and kids. You're good. You can listen on your phone, right? Take a little breather, right? Take a little breather. You don't careful of that, what is that? Poisoning? You don't want that exhaust running in the garage. Hey, take it easy. All right. Sam Herder's on tonight. FCS analyst, senior FCS analyst. HeroSports.com, one of the best FCS football guys in the country. Love talking FCS football with Sam, and he's here on the Nate Brown Show. He's on Twitter at Sam Herder FCS. Sam, thanks for the time. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good. I appreciate you having me back on.
Okay, let me ask you about one game that I find really interesting. South Dakota State. They go to Iowa. It was a snot knocker. No touchdowns. The whole thing. It was a grinder. And then they come back home opener, FCS opponent, UC Davis. UC Davis has been ranked in the top 25, like 24 I saw. Jackrabbits are an FCS contender for a title, potentially. That game was South Dakota State's game, but it kind of got tight. South Dakota State, survived kind of a late comeback. What was your read on that? Jackrabbits, UC Davis this past Saturday.
Yeah, it is a bit of a tough read because UC Davis was a playoff team last year. Obviously, these two teams saw each other in the playoffs with South Dakota State winning like 56-24 or something like that, just a dominating effort. And both teams have a lot of returning starters coming back, and so kind of conventional wisdom would say, well, South Dakota State should win this by a few scores. But it definitely got tight there at the end. UC Davis had a chance for a 2-point conversion to tie the game with a minute remaining. Did not convert, and so South Dakota State gets the win there. But it's a good win. UC Davis was right on the verge of being ranked. They probably are one of the 25 best teams in the country. A top 4 or 5 team in the Big Sky, and so it's a quality win. But I think with the level of expectation South Dakota State has, we now judge South Dakota State based off of those expectations, where maybe in 2016 you would say, yep, that's a good win. But now with, national title expectations, I think it's fair to look at this win and say that's probably not good enough for South Dakota State if they truly want to win a national title. And I think defensively still looking fantastic, but offensive line has some question marks, and I think Mark Gronowski he's definitely shown some rust to start, not really in sync, not really in rhythm. That'll probably come around later on this season with more snaps. But I think right now kind of not a bad start, a good start still for South Dakota State, but definitely want to see a little bit more from them.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it, Sam, because it's like the expectations for the Jackrabbits have changed. I mean, they just have. That was a tight one against UC Davis. By the way, the other side, USD goes on the road to play Montana. The Grizz are good. They're up in that mix of top echelon teams. 24-7, Montana beats USD. What did you think of that?
Yeah, watching this game, at the end, you see, all right, our game's over, final score 24-7, and I remember thinking, so I watched that whole game, I remember thinking that did not feel like a 24-7 game. It felt like the Grizz won 42-7. And, obviously give credit to South Dakota's defense on a couple of occasions getting off the field when it felt like Montana was going to get another touchdown to make it not as big of a blowout. But Montana was in control that whole game, just got after that offensive line and after Carson Camp. They just, they bring the heat play after play after play. And I thought Montana moved the ball pretty well. And had other opportunities to get points on the board, but some miscues, and South Dakota maybe digging its heels in and getting some key stops allowed that game to not get too out of control. But again, it was a game where I think everyone probably picked Montana to win, but they probably thought it was going to be a closer game than what it was, and especially for a South Dakota team that is coming off of the playoffs. And so I thought the Yotes would bat a little bit better, and off to an 0-2 start now with some tough games still ahead.
Head coach Bob Nielsen for the Coyotes taking over offensive play calling duties now. He just made that announcement this week, trying to spark USD's offense. Sam Herder's in tonight, FCS football analyst, HeroSports.com. Let's go to this week. I got my eye on this. Bison go to Arizona. Okay, North Dakota State at Arizona, Pac-12 team. Arizona struggled big time over the past few years. I mean, big time. They can't win games. Yet, they beat San Diego State a couple of weeks ago, but the North Dakota State Bison are favored in Vegas? They're favored over the Wildcats?
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see what all the lines are. I think right now it's probably a pick 'em, but, the official... whether it's BetMGM or Offshore or DraftKings or in Vegas, I don't think they've really released an official line yet. I believe Five Dimes did, but Five Dimes isn't necessarily operational in the United States. I believe Five Dimes had it as a pick 'em earlier this week.
Okay, I saw -1 North Dakota State lately. I saw that.
Okay, yep, and that's probably... that pretty much is a pick 'em, I guess, right there. But, yeah, it's not too surprising that North Dakota State will be favored in this one. Arizona is not the team they were last year. They brought in a ton of transfers. They brought in a really good recruiting class, a transfer quarterback. And so it's a new-look team, which makes them a little difficult to gauge because, they beat a San Diego State team that's pretty good. And this is a clash of styles, right, where you have Arizona who's going to try to spread you out-athlete you, going up against North Dakota State where they're going to try to line up and out-physical you. And so we'll see exactly how this matches up on the field, but it's going to be a fun one. It's a 10 p.m. Central Time kick on Fox Sports 1, and so we do get it on national television, but we'll see. Another interesting thing, too, will be what kind of viewership it gets, because it is on national television, like I said, but that's a late kickoff, and so we'll see how many people can stay up and watch this one. I do think it'll get a lot of eyeballs, though.
You got to be as young as Sam Herder to stay up that late, man. I'm telling you, you got to be partying, man. That's getting late for me. I'll go to this. Missouri State, Bobby Petrino, Missouri State, Arkansas. Now, that's a tough task, but Missouri State's kind of a team to watch here in the Missouri Valley. What do you think of Missouri State this year?
Yeah, I'm really high on them. I have them as, I believe, my number 6 team in the country, right behind Incarnate Word, who's rising up. I think this is the type of game, and Arkansas is really good. This is a really, really good SEC program. But Missouri State has the type of system where, they can try to go toe-to-toe and, kind of get into a track meet with Arkansas. And, of course, you have the juicy storyline, too, of Coach Petrino going back to Arkansas, and so that'll be kind of an interesting off-the-field angle to this matchup. But I really like Missouri State. Offensive line struggled last year. So far in 2 games this year, hasn't looked like it's improved a whole lot. The defense has a ton of talent, some transfers coming in, so some really good returning starters as well. Montre Braswell is a really good cornerback for them, but their secondary does give up some big plays. And so I think they are one of the better teams in the FCS, but are they ready to be that upper echelon team that can truly contend for a national title? I'm not sure they're there quite yet, but you compare Missouri State where they are now compared to even 2019, it's night and day difference of how much better they are now.
Missouri State at Arkansas, NDSU at Arizona. Some interesting games to watch. Jackrabbits Coyotes come out last week. Coyotes still looking for win number 1. Jacks still undefeated, running through the FCS with Sam Herder. Follow him at Sam Herder FCS on Twitter and find his work HeroSports.com. do a great job covering the FCS level. Sam, thanks for hopping on, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I appreciate your time here on Fox Sports Rapid City. That's Sam Herder, FCS football, herosports.com on the Nate Brown Show. All right, what do I have to say? Arizona is going to beat the North Dakota State Bison. I hate to break it to you on the Nate Brown Show this Wednesday. I mean, I was looking at that. I'm like, I get the Bison are great. They beat FBS teams time after time. I get it. Arizona has been dog biscuits. I mean biscuits. But Arizona beat San Diego State a couple of weeks ago. Arizona's not going to lose to North Dakota State. This Arizona, they're going to be spreading them out a little bit. They got some speed. North Dakota State's not going to just punch Arizona in the mouth. I mean, this is still the Pac-12, as bad as Arizona has been. Arizona's going to win that game Saturday night. I hate to break it to the Bison Nation, but Arizona's going to punch that one. North Dakota State's, favored. I saw the latest odds by like 1 point. I'm not buying that. Listener text, #GoBison. Of course. I'm not saying I'm not rooting for them. I'm rooting for them. They're not going to win it. They're not going to win that one. They're not going to beat Arizona Saturday night. Into the Drive at 5 on a Wednesday, I have one question about the Husker coaching search. This is one question for you. Do you think this guy should be looked at in the hiring process? This guy. We'll discuss next.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show. Follow us and watch the show live on Twitter at Nate Brown Show.
Are you ready for football season? The king of sportsbooks, BetMGM at Tin Lizzy, is ready for football. Tin Lizzy's BetMGM Sportsbook is the best sports betting experience in South Dakota. From college football to the NFL, make your bet, take in the game, as there's not a bad seat in the house. Your sports betting home for football is Tin Lizzy and BetMGM Sportsbook. Bet on your favorite team and the biggest games. Make your play at Tin Lizzy BetMGM Sportsbook, Main Street, Deadwood.
Looking for a great used truck or SUV? Denny Menho Toyota has them. Shop a great selection of half-ton trucks and SUVs, imports and domestics, brands like Ford, GMC, Subaru, Nissan, Jeep, and more. Plus, the area's best selection of used Toyotas, Toyota Certified Prius. Buy with no money down, get financing on the spot with qualified credit. If we don't have exactly what you're looking for, we'll find it for you in our network of dealerships. See us at Denny Menho Toyota or DennyMenhoToyota.com.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we are committed to improving the lives of our members and bettering our communities. As your community credit union, we're here to get to know you and your unique needs. From extended service hours to the newest technology, we have you covered. Stop by any location to get started or text or call 605-718-1818. BHFCU is member-owned, not-for-profit, and federally insured by the NCUA.
Hi, this is Cody Young at High Plains Physical Therapy and Aquatic Therapy Center. I started High Plains PT in 1999, and we've been providing personalized care in Rapid City to help our patients get back in action. Remember, you have a choice for who you go to see for physical therapy. With our state-of-the-art Aquatic Therapy Center, we are equipped to help you achieve your health goals. At High Plains, we'll give you the one-on-one treatment you deserve. We look forward to working with you at our new facility. To get started, visit highplainspt.com.
Someone will come in, they'll have a noise under the hood. We'll go out and take a look at it. We can determine by the type of noise, and usually if we can determine where it's coming from, we can direct them to the piece that has failed. My name is Dick Lemke. Working at Sturtevant's as long as I have, it's definitely become my career. When you need someone to help solve the problem, start with a Sturtevant store near you.
STURDEVANTS, come and see Sturtevant's. Has it Sturtevant's?
Hi, this is Dan Patrick. Remember to catch me weekday mornings from 7 until 10 a.m. right here on 106.7 FM and 1150 a.m. Fox Sports Rapid City. And now, back to Rapid City's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
Welcome back in the Nate Brown Show live, 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City. Stream us at foxsportsrapidcity.com. Watch the show live on Twitter at Nate Brown Show. Follow the show. You'll get the guest lineup. You can get the show live in studio right now at Nate Brown Show on Twitter. If you don't have a Twitter account, go to YouTube. Everybody can watch it there. Smart TV on your phone right there. Subscribe to the channel, The Nate Brown Show. You got to get the in there. There's some imposter out there, Nate Brown Show. But The Nate Brown Show on YouTube. Subscribe. We'd appreciate it. You can watch the show live weekdays 4 to 6. Drive at 5 on a Wednesday, brought to you by Summit Automotive Group. Great place for pre-owned selection, I'm telling you, and a great experience. The Summit difference. Find out how. SummitAutoGRP.com. Start there. Take a look at the selection. Stacy and Matt have brought in SUVs, trucks, cars. SummitAutoGRP.com. Start there on your next pre-owned search. I have this one for you. People have thrown together lists now of Nebraska's coaching search. Now, this is the fun part. This is the fun part, right? Trying to get through the ugly part and the tough part. This is the fun part. Who should be the next head coach of the Huskers? Who should be the next head coach of the Huskers? I've always loved this throughout my broadcasting career when a coach lets go and, you know, that we talk about that and then we move forward and there's like this candidate list. Here's the list. And here's the type of person and leader that we want. Well, here's the latest list that's out. This is from Yahoo Sports, who dug into this and they said, here's the 10 people that Nebraska's Trev Alberts should look at to be the next head coach of the Huskers. So let's go through the list. Let's go through the list. See what you think. Then I'll ask you the question of the day. At the top of Yahoo Sports list is the guy that keeps on getting thrown around a ton. Yahoo Sports says, first guy on their list, Iowa State's coach Matt Campbell. Campbell's been a consistent winner over there with Iowa State. In the 10 years before he got there, they had a winning record once. Since he's been there, he's had a winning record in 5 of 6 seasons. 5 of 6 seasons. So Matt Campbell's been doing the job at Iowa State. He's on the list. Let's just run through it really quick. Nebraska candidate list, according to Yahoo Sports. North Carolina State head coach Dave Doeren. Okay, Doran's had a long career. Pretty good at North Carolina State. I don't know about him, but okay. Coastal Carolina, they kind of jumped on the scene here. The Chanticleers, Coastal Carolina head coach Jamie Chadwell. They have Nebraska interim head coach Mickey Joseph on the list. They say you might want to look at Mickey, so maybe he's the guy. Here's one for you. Tom Herman. Take it easy. Tom Herman, former Texas coach, right? Former Texas coach. He's now an analyst on TV. Tom Herman on the list for Yahoo Sports. Kansas State head coach Chris Kleiman. You know Chris Kleiman, North Dakota State fame. Took the Bison, kept that train rolling. He's at Kansas State. They've had 2 8-win seasons under Chris Kleiman at K-State. Oklahoma State head coach Mike Gundy is on this list, according to Yahoo Sports. Kind of a wild card there. He's been at Oklahoma State a long time. Mike Gundy on the list. Alabama offensive coordinator Bill O'Brien, former Houston Texans head coach. Bill O'Brien over there with Nick Saban in Alabama. They have Kansas head coach Lance Leopold on the list. He had all those Division III titles at Wisconsin Whitewater, climbed the ranks, the whole thing. Kansas head coach Lance Leopold. And finally, the last candidate on the Yahoo Sports list for Nebraska's head job, Carolina Panthers current head coach Matt Rule. Used to be at Baylor, the Big 12, that whole thing. Made the big leap to the NFL. They have Matt Rule on here. Who's the one guy missing from the Yahoo Sports Nebraska candidate list? Who's the one guy missing? Anybody? I'm going to throw him in my question of the day for you. And I want to know what you really think about this. Should Nebraska take a serious look and interview and go through the process with Urban Meyer? Your favorite coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Urban Meyer. His college resume is impeccable. The Jacksonville Jaguars, that was a mess. That was a mess. People kind of questioned that one, and it got weird and bizarre, and it was a short-lived deal. So Urban's out there. He's on Big Noon Fox Kickoff. He's going to be in Lincoln, by the way. Oh, yeah, look at that. You can get a jump start on this. Urban, he's going to be in Lincoln this weekend for the Oklahoma game. Should Nebraska take a serious look at Urban Meyer? That's my question to you. Whether you're a Husker fan, whether you're looking at this program from the outside, you tell me if that's something that the Huskers should do. Yahoo Sports did not put Urban Meyer on the list. Okay? I'm asking you, you look at his history in college football. I mean, you all know it. You all know it. I mean, it goes back a long way. Bowling Green to Utah to Florida to Ohio State. Win. National champion. We're talking national champion level. Okay? What do you think? A lot of votes on this on the Nate Brown Show question of the day. I have a ton of votes. So this is a good snapshot of what people think. You tell me, 720-1067, the Barron's Wilson text line, or you can join the show live. We'll get you on really quick. Should Nebraska take a serious look at Urban Meyer in the hiring process? The poll question shows 53% of you say, yes, he just wins. 47% say, no, you don't want to go there. You don't want to go there. Listener text, Urban Meyer would take that job. Yeah, well, he might. He might. Do you want him? Do you want Urban Meyer in this process? Listener text, it needs to be Matt Campbell or Lance Leopold from Kansas. So no Meyer? Listener text, Meyer's too old. Thanks for calling. You're live on Fox Sports Rapid City, and you go ahead.
Yeah, I guess why not give him a try, right? I know, Jacksonville didn't turn out, but did well at Florida, did well at Ohio State. If he could turn Nebraska around, I mean, he'd be a college football head coach.
So you're going to give him a run. Give him a run.
Yeah, give him a run, see what he can do.
All right, man. Thanks for that. I appreciate that. Good backup. Good backup on that. He said, I mean, think about that. If Urban Meyer turned Nebraska around, I mean, he'd be what? Top what? College football coaches of all time? Top five. I mean, look at this guy's history. They bring Nebraska back to glory days. I don't know. It's a tough gig. Tough job. Let's see here. What's my answer to it? You want me to give you the answer? I'll give you the answer. Listener text first here. How about Gruden? LOL. Hey, take it easy. Take it easy. I haven't seen John Gruden on any of these lists. But that's interesting that Urban Meyer has been thrown around by some Nebraska people this week. Like down there in Lincoln, Omaha, it's like, hey, Urban, maybe take a look. Some of the national media, not so much. Some of the national media, like I just went through that list for Yahoo Sports. There's some pretty interesting names there. Urban Meyer not on that list. And so what I'm going to tell you is this. A lot of people voting here, and it's really not changed. It's pretty consistent. 54% of you now say you got to look at Urban in this hiring process for the Huskers. You got to look at him. 54% say yes, he wins. 46% say no, don't even go there. Here's the deal. You have to go there. You have to go there. I mean, you got to do your due diligence. If I'm Trev Alberts, this is a good job. Don't let anybody fool you on the Nebraska situation here. Do not let anybody fool you on the Nebraska situation. The Nebraska, I had a buddy at lunch today say, does anybody want to go to Nebraska? Does anybody want to go to Nebraska? The money's off the charts. It's not an issue. There's not an issue at Nebraska. They've got more money than a ton of programs. The fan support is unbelievable. Unbelievable. The facilities are going to be unbelievable by next summer. They got a new football facility going up right now. They can win in the Big Ten West. The Big Ten West isn't the Big Ten East. This isn't Ohio State, Michigan. This isn't that whole thing. This is the Big Ten West. And the name, image, and likeness dollars, they're flowing. You are the show. Name, image, and likeness, they got people lining up to hand over money to the players. So this job here is a big job. Don't be worried about, having to settle for somebody like Dave Doran, North Carolina State. Sorry, Dave. I mean, it's just is what it is. I mean, we don't have to worry about that. You got to go and see if Urban's in this deal. You got to see if Urban Meyer's in this deal. Where is he at mentally, health-wise, the commitment? This can't be a little, I want to be here for a few years. I want to see if Urban can get rolling. You got to have some commitment there, okay? Got to have some commitment. One more quick call on this. We'll see if we can get it. Thanks for calling. You're live today, and you go ahead.
Nebraska is still a brand name. And
yes.
Can be brought back. They're still a brand name. They're right up there. They're the Adidas of their division, I would say. And they just they need to get back into it. Get a guy that can recruit. Get a guy that's brought people to the promised land.
Would you look at him? Would you at least look?
I would definitely look at him. I think it's foolish not to.
All right. I'm with you on that. I am. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I think that's right. He said it's foolish not to. Now, if you have a sit down and you look at the big picture and you look at this and, he's going to do some, glad-handing stuff and having people sit on his laps at the bar and stuff in Lincoln. I mean, you got to be careful with that. You got to be careful, okay? We don't want any more of that, Urban. We don't want any more hanky-panky going on. We got to have football focus. Are you gonna get this job done as you did everywhere you were outside of the old Jacksonville experiment? You got to look at Urban. You have to. Thor Nystrom's in next. College football NFL analyst live from Minneapolis on the way.
Did you miss an interview or great segment on The Nate Brown Show? Just find The Nate Brown Show podcast and listen wherever you download your podcasts.
Have you hit a pothole or curb with your car? Does your vehicle need an adjustment or have an alignment, shock, or strut issue? Black Hills Tire is your one-stop shop for complete automotive service and repair in the Black Hills area. Trust your vehicle with no one else but Black Hills Tire. Contact Weston, Denise, and the guys at Black Hills Tire, where honesty, reliability, and safety is their top priority. Black Hills Tire voted the #1 shop for automotive repair and brake repair and tire store in the Black Hills. Ask about their free pickup and delivery. Black Hills Tire. Check them out online at blackhillstire.com.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Mainly cloudy tonight with scattered thunderstorms likely. Lows dip down to about 59. Winds out of the north 8 to 15 miles per hour. Cloudy tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 75. Overcast skies again tomorrow night. Lows dip down to about 54. Upper 70s Friday and Saturday with storms possible both days. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 84.
After picking up a victory over Custer last week on the road, the Rapid City Christian Comets return home to battle the 5th-ranked Mount Vernon Plankington Titans this Saturday. Join Dean Gura and me, Jerome Wickersham, for all the action, beginning with the pregame show at 1:45 and the kickoff at 2 from Rapid City Christian High School. It's high school football action this Saturday as Rapid City Christian hosts Mount Vernon Plankington, right here on Fox Sports Rapid City.
Well, at Black Hills Health and Wellness Center, we have 4 chiropractors in the clinic, and our big focus is working on the musculoskeletal health of patients. Being in business in 39 years and having done business with every single bank in the area, in the community, in the last 2 years, we have definitely realized how much we have been missing out with the extra go-the-distance service that Pioneer Bank and Trust is willing to provide you. Pioneer Bank and Trust is local.
Pioneer Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
With 2 locations in Rapid City, Pizza Ranch is ready to serve your family. Every Wednesday is Kids Day. This is the best deal out there with the best buffet in town. One child 12 and under eats free for every regular priced adult at the Pizza Ranch Buffet Wednesdays. And don't forget their senior special every Tuesday for $8.99. The Pizza Ranch Buffet. It's all good at the Pizza Ranch with 2 locations in Rapid City. And remember, daily online specials for carryout or delivery at PizzaRanch.com.
Live from the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Details Studio. Sales, service, and recreation. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
Welcome back in the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City and the Drive at 5 presented by Summit Automotive Group. Experience the Summit difference when it comes to pre-owned vehicle selection. They have it, and the Summit difference is car buying built around you, from the right vehicle, the right financing, the right treatment. Okay, SummitAutoGRP.com. Start there. Thor Nystrom's on tonight here on Fox Sports Rapid City. College football, NFL analyst, betting pros, fantasy pros, even does a little Vikings, for Score North, little Vikings. Let's get it all. Thor Nystrom's on. Find him on Twitter at ThorKU. He's here on the Nate Brown Show. Thor, good to have you, man. How are you?
Good to be back, Nate. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good. So, really quick one here on the college football side. Nebraska's going to need a new coach. Mickey Joseph stepping in right now, so maybe he'll be considered. We'll see. Has Nebraska history, that whole thing. A lot of people are doing this now, Thor. Okay, who should be on the list for Nebraska? And I was looking through it. Here's one guy I threw out to my audience. Does Nebraska need to at least explore Urban Meyer?
Oh man, things have gotten really bad in Lincoln, haven't they? If we're tossing that out, I mean, like in college, if you're you've been sort of rudderless now for several years, you would at least have to think about it, because Urban Meyer has crushed everywhere he's ever gone in college. It didn't crush so much in Jacksonville, but in college, it's been one place after the other. But it's the same thing with Urban. He always pulls you up immediately, and it always ends in, vaguely disastrous terms, at every school he's been at. So I don't know if that would be, Lincoln, it's sort of unsettled right now. I think if I was Trev Albert, I would want the C's to be a little bit calmer. But I would also have to at least give it passing thought if I were Trev Albert as well.
Okay. That's what I asked. I mean, should you do your due diligence? I say yes. I mean, you got to look at it.
Exactly. As a fan, I would prefer that he stay in the TV booth. He's actually really, really good at TV. He has been his entire time in there. I missed him last year during that disaster. That's where he ought to be now. And then he won't have to come up with another health excuse to walk away from another program that he had lost track of, some of the players, stuff like that. But yeah, you have to at least think about it for sure. Okay.
So I'll go one more on Nebraska. One of the guys that's jumping to the top on the betting market, Thor, and you're in on this, okay, is Matt Campbell, Iowa State. Seems like a slam dunk. He's won a ton of games at Iowa State. He built that program. They were nothing. They didn't win at all. Now he's winning a lot. Matt Campbell, is that the top of the list for you?
1,000%. Yeah. I haven't seen the odds on that specific prop, but to me, we're so early in the process, but if you were to install a favorite, it would probably have to be him, because Trev Albert's going to make the call. He's absolutely going to make the call, and he's going to try to figure out how much it's going to take, or if Campbell would even leave. The bigger part of that equation, it's not if Nebraska would be interested in Campbell. They are, and of course they would be. It's would Campbell leave? It seems as though Campbell has already turned down better jobs than the Nebraska one. So you have that, but then again, maybe he wants to stay in the Midwest, and maybe he views, turning around a program that used to have, they still have tradition, but it used to be a storied program. Maybe he would, put some import in that, and it would decide to leave.
Last year was supposed to be Matt Campbell's enormous season at Iowa State, like the thing he was building towards. Where they had Purdy, they had Breece Hall, they had multiple NFL tight ends, they had most of their defense back, and I think they only finished like 7-6. And now you got to start the whole thing over again and try to build up to the veteran roster. This year's roster is super young. Maybe he just decides I want more resources at Nebraska, and if they write him a blank check, who knows? Maybe someone can finally pull Matt Campbell out of Ames. But we've seen this over and over again over the cycles where Matt Campbell is always on the top, of these candidate lists, and no one has been able to pull him out yet. But you have to make that call, and you probably have to make him the offer, to be honest.
That's interesting, and Nebraska has a lot of money, I will tell you that, and they're going to have a lot more with the Big Ten media deal. Thor Nystrom's on, college football, NFL analyst, fantasy pros, betting pros here on the Nate Brown Show. I want to go to this big picture college football report here. This is from the Transformation Committee, Thor. This is the committee's exploring how's FBS football going to be governed. Are we going to stay under this NCAA deal? We're going to do our own thing. I've talked to college football writers over the past 6 months. A lot of guys told me there's going to be the big boys breaking off. They're going to do their own thing, and FBS is not going to stay under this NCAA umbrella. Well, here's the committee report today. It looks like that momentum's splitting, and it looks like the FBS, with some of these ADs saying, we're going to stay under the NCAA. That's the initial report this afternoon. What do you think of that?
I think we'll see after it becomes the 2 mega conferences or after the 3. I was one of those football writers. We were talking about this, a couple months ago or whenever it was. And I'll take you back to a conversation that I had in Mobile, Alabama during Senior Bowl week with a former high-level employee at a blue blood program who told me we're going to the 2 mega conferences. That will happen. And the quote that I'll always remember that he told me, he said, the NCAA is dead. It just doesn't know it yet. Now, it probably not in terms of just, outright dying. That's not what he meant. He meant that once the 2, whether it's 2 or 3, the mega conferences, why would you choose to be governed by the NCAA at that point? At that point, you have isolated all the power on your own. Why would you want someone looking over your shoulder and penalizing you for different stuff that you don't think should be a penalty? At that point, you have become almost semi-pro, and you have certainly become autonomous. They wouldn't need the NCAA anymore. So I think the point when you get there, when it's 2 to 3 conferences that have 20-plus teams, the mega ones, I think that's when they split from the NCAA. The NCAA will probably still live on as governing the other FBS conferences, or if they reconstitute, I'm not sure how that would work, and then some of the lower ones. But at the point when you got 50 to 60 of the premier teams in 2 to 3 conferences, I think that's when you see those schools tell the NCAA to kick rocks.
Interesting, very interesting. And the report is, well, the FBS may want to stay under the umbrella of the NCAA, but maybe have their own FBS-only board. We want our own board under this thing. That's what's being reported this afternoon. We shall see. Thor Nystrom's on tonight. Let's shift to one quick hitter on the Vikings, Thor. How about the Vikings opening week? Great game, only one game. Is that whole team different because of Kevin O'Connell?
1,000%. Yeah, 1,000%. I mean, you saw it with the energy. You saw it with the schematics on offense, which was, crazy as someone who has watched every single Viking game since I was basically born. It's crazy going from the Zimmer offense where, you trot out and you just have the 2 receivers out there and they stay in the same spot. You just allow the other team to put their cornerback 1 on Jefferson and we'll see what happens. To this one where it was pre-snap motion all the time. There was intelligent design behind all of that motion. You saw every time they were motioning Jefferson, trying to isolate him into a situation where he's always going to be in an advantageous situation because he's Justin Jefferson. But when you get him on a linebacker, which they did a couple times, like a rookie linebacker, or you get him on a safety, or you get him on a slot guy, or you confuse the defense so much by your motion that they put nobody on them, which happened a couple times as well. The difference in schematics is it's enormous defense, too. They went from the 4-3 to the 3-4. They're attacking more now. And then also just like general game strategy. I mean, like you saw it throughout. Like early on, the Vikings go for it. On fourth down near the goal line, end up scoring the touchdown. Guarantee you Zimmer would have kicked the field goal on that. And then the other thing with Zimmer was every time he had any sort of a lead in the second half, it was just like first down was always a run play. The second down was always an extremely safe passing play, like out to the perimeter or something where it wasn't going to be intercepted or whatever. And then they'd run again on third down. And then they'd be punting on 4th and 3 or it would be a 4th and 2 or whatever. Whereas with O'Connell, he's like, no, the way that you run clock, people have always associated with running the ball when you're ahead. That's not right. The way that you run clock is by converting first downs. Kevin O'Connell understands that. If we have the ball, we're going to be running the clock. And you saw that. They were still passing up 17. They were still doing all sorts of interesting things. And then they did smart things by, like, for instance, Dalvin Cook, they didn't give him all the touches in the second half. They were giving a lot more to Madison, stuff like that, trying to keep him fresh for down the stretch. All across the board, just an A+, everything.
Wow. So now the Vikings go on the road at Philly. That's dangerous to me.
It is very dangerous. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough matchup, number one. You're talking about a Vikings defense that played awesome on Sunday, but don't forget, they were just 27th or 28th in the league last year. The schematic changes certainly help. Getting Zadarius Smith certainly helps. They plugged some of the holes. Some of the young guys that they have playing, they're now a year older. So you did expect a little bit of a step forward, but this team, like the defense, you probably think best case scenario, or at least we were thinking over the summer, you get to league average. You get to something like 16th. Now you have to face this Philly team that has the monster receivers, and then they also run the ball really well, both with the multiple running backs and then also Hurts. It's a very tricky matchup. And then the other thing is, I do a lot of handicapping for college football, as you know, for work. You always are looking at the teams who had the surprising upset win or a program-defining win or whatever, and then they have to turn around the very next week and play, an opponent that isn't as prestigious to them or whatever. And a lot of times you get, like, sort of the letdown spot right after. Hopefully that doesn't happen to the Vikings, but, I mean, now you got to turn around. Everyone's been, puffing you up now for the past several days. You upset the Packers, might have had a change into the guard of the NFC North. Now you got to go on the road and play the Eagles. It's going to be a very interesting game for us to get a barometer on what this Vikings team is.
Yeah, I'm with you on that because they haven't been good in recent games at Philly. They just haven't been. This week, too, is going to be interesting. Thor Nystrom in. He's on the Vikings Score North, of course, on the betting side. Betting pros, fantasy pros, college football, NFL. Thor KU on Twitter. Thor Nystrom in tonight. Thor, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it.
Always good talking to you, Nate. Have a good one.
All right, thanks for the time. Thor Nystrom on tonight. College football, NFL analyst, fantasy pros, betting pros, and on Twitter at Thor KU. Would you look at Urban Meyer? At least have a hiring process of, hey, we got to include him on the list for Nebraska. Would you do that? That's my question of the day. Listener text coming in. It's got to be Stoops or Coach O. They need to be looked at for Nebraska, someone that can recruit the South and that kids love. So when you say Stoops, you mean Mark Stoops, Kentucky? Is that who you're talking? I'd assume that's who you're talking about. Mark Stoops. Coach O is Coach Orgeron. Coach Orgeron got let go by LSU. Would you look at Coach O? That's interesting. Two guys there. Interesting two guys. Listener text. Got to look at Deion Sanders, primetime. I see. You're just joking around now. I see. I mean, Sanders, I like what he's doing at Jackson State. I like some of the stuff he's doing there, Jackson State, but not enough experience. I mean, Scott Frost barely had enough experience, it turns out. I mean, he really didn't. Scott Frost was at Oregon as an offensive coordinator. He was only at UCF a couple of years. A lot of people kind of forget that because they're like, oh, man, he exploded at UCF. He was a Nebraska hometown guy. I mean, this is the guy. And he was only there a couple of years as the head coach before he got the Nebraska job. All right. We're coming back with Matt McIntosh tonight. Got to talk high school football. Our game is Saturday, 2 o'clock on Fox Sports Rapid City. We'll have Rapid City Christian against Mount Vernon Plankinton. How good is this program building for the Comets under head coach Matt McIntosh? He's live next.
You're listening to the Nate Brown Show.
This house is freezing again. Winter is coming. Will it be cold inside your house again? Scan the QR code on your screen right now. Renewal by Anderson's incredible Winter is Coming sale is here. Buy one window or patio door. Get the second one of equal or lesser value for 40% off. Plus an additional 5% off the entire project if purchased on the initial consultation. And listen to this. No money down, no interest, no payments for 12 whole months. Payments as low as $89 a month. Hurry, this sale ends October 15th. Scan that code. Visit RBARapidCity.com now.
I think we're all ready for some football, and Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort is the place to stay and play in Deadwood. If you want to bet on the biggest games, watch the games, and also play your favorite table games and have a great dinner, Cadillac Jack's and BetMGM allows you to do it all in one place. The king of sportsbooks, BetMGM, teaming up with Cadillac Jack's from college football to the NFL. Make your plans now to experience Cadillac Jack's with BetMGM Sportsbook. How will your game play out?
Hi, I'm Bill from Wirefree USA, your local authorized DirecTV retailer. You wouldn't buy an expensive, high-powered motorcycle and then put training wheels on it, would you? So why would you try to get a beautiful picture on that expensive HD TV by hooking it up to cable? DirecTV offers access to 200 full-time high-definition channels. Ask how you can get your TVs connected to the internet, and you can get DVR functionality in every room on every TV. With Genie, DirecTV's most advanced HD DVR ever, you have the ability to record up to 5 shows at the same time. Never call an 800 number again. Call us at 343-3806 or stop by our showroom at 680 North LaCrosse Street, 3 blocks south of Walmart. The future is Wirefree USA with DirecTV.
24-month agreement required. HD channel count varies by package selection. HD equipment required. Hardware and programming available separately. Additional and advanced receiver fees apply. New approved customers only. Other conditions apply. Call for details.
Work, the kids' practices, household errands, seems like every hour's rush hour at our house. But no matter how busy things get, we still make balanced nutrition a priority with help from Country Hearth Natural Breads. Whole grains and other natural ingredients are carefully blended and baked into delicious, nutritious breads like Dakota-style 12-grain, multi-grain, and 100% whole wheat. There's a Country Hearth favorite for everyone in the family. Country Hearth Breads, baking our best for you.
And 200, 2 and a quarter, 2 to the bit, 250, want to get 250 here, 275 now, 3.
Hi, folks. Kevin McPherson Auction Company. We can turn your property to cash. We can sell your personal property and your real estate at auction. A family business for 64 years and counting. We've sold several millions of dollars in property over the years. We're happy to consult with you on your auction plans. Let our selling experience work for you. Call McPherson Auction, 605-348-1369. Visit us on our web at McPhersonAuction.com.
Live from the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Details Studio. Sales, service, and recreation. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
Welcome back in the Nate Brown Show. Glad to have you on board. Packed show tonight. From the Huskers to the FCS to the NFL to Major League Baseball. We got it all covered. And high school football, of course. Our game of the week this week on Fox Sports Rapid City. We'll go to Hart Ranch Saturday afternoon. It's an afternoon kickoff, 2 o'clock. Rapid City Christian will have them against Mount Vernon Plankinton. Mount Vernon Plankinton's undefeated. Rapid City Christian's 2-1. Their head coach, Matt McIntosh, in his first year, back on the Nate Brown Show tonight. Coach, good to have you. How are you?
Hey, Nate, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on again.
Well, I appreciate it. We talked before the season, and now I want to talk to you about where you're at. You're 2-1. You beat Custer this past week. Opening game win against Lee Deadwood. Competitive against St. Thomas More. Lost it by a couple of scores. But you're 2-1. What do you feel like after 3 games?
I think that we're doing well. We're starting to get there. I think that we've been competitive in all the games. I thought that the Custer game was our best performance so far. We really put it together, and I thought that the team is really starting to figure out what we're doing concept-wise on offense and defense.
Okay, I look at it. Did you think some of these guys that hadn't played, I mean, you said, hey, I got some guys that are just athletes, but they hadn't played. Is that part of it? It's taken them a while to get up to speed.
Yeah, I think a little bit. There's, a couple of standouts that we've had so far have really, they've caught on, and they caught on quicker than I had anticipated, but it is part of it. It takes a little bit of time to figure it out. It takes some time to figure out how to tackle people and play football and play aggressive, and so we're getting there. I think when you look at the film on our team, we're a hard-hitting squad, and I'm proud of that.
Okay, I was going to ask you about that because I look at it, Coach. Let's look at this team here. Mount Vernon, Plankinton, they came out last year. You weren't the coach or anything, but they came out last year. It was a blowout. And they're undefeated again. That's a team back there that, they have tough schedules, tough games week in, week out. This is a team that's really, really physical. How's your physicality of your team?
Well, you're right. I mean, they're physical. They are Mount Vernon, Plankinton they are East River football. They have big linemen. They've got athletic guys, and they pound the football on offense. And defense, they keep the ball in front of them. They have athletes as linebackers, and they come after you, and they hit. Their starting quarterback is also their linebacker. I think he's 6'4", 205 pounds. Sometimes they put him out there, and he's the lead blocker on offense. And so they're coming to hit. And so from our perspective, we have to equal that when we play them both sides of the ball. And I think we're up for that. And like I said, if you look at our games, we come and we had a slugfest with Deadwood, and they were also a hard-hitting team, and we just went hand-to-hand with them, and I thought we did very well. Custer was bigger than us. They at every position, they were bigger, and we took it to them. STM, I thought, was really competitive for us. Their skills positions are very good. Their big guys are good, and we hung in there and we fought tooth and nail. And so competitively, aggressively, and coming out and hitting, I think we're going to be all right.
Matt McIntosh on tonight. Good talk in Rapid City Christian football. The Comets are 2-1. Tough game this week. We'll have it Saturday, 2 o'clock. Mount Vernon, Plankinton coming in to Hart Ranch. So I want to ask you about, okay, there's no moral victories. That's what coaches say. So you're telling the guys, we want to win this thing. And you do. What are you looking for in the game from a big picture?
Yeah, there are no moral victories for me. I'm a competitive guy. I want to win everything I do. And I kid around with our players and tell them I have no mercy even at home. I go bowling with my kids, and I'll get as many pins as I can. I have no mercy. And so I want to win. And our goal here is, and it's no secret, you have to stop the run. I think the last game that Mount Vernon Plankinton played, they threw the ball 4 times. And so they're going to pound the football. And so if we're going to win, we got to stop the run. And it's not a secret. That's the goal. That's what every team's going to try to do to them throughout the year.
Okay, how about your offense, Coach? Are you liking how it's coming along? What's your ultimate plan as far as running, passing, the balance? What type of team are you?
Yeah, I think our quarterback and our wide receivers are exceptional. They have surprised me with how well they've picked up the offense and how well we execute at times. I think we have some of the best skills positions in 11B, and I think we've demonstrated the ability to stretch the field, and our quarterback's doing an excellent job. Simon Keeper's only a sophomore, but you'd never know it. He plays far beyond his years, and our receivers are really playing well. We need to do a better job of running the ball and being more balanced. I thought we got closer to that at Custer and utilizing our senior running back, Sam Fisher. We're going to do more of that and keep it balanced to really keep teams honest.
Matt McIntosh on tonight. We'll have the game. Rapid City Christian head coach on the Nate Brown Show. It's Christian against Mount Vernon Plankinton. They're 4-0. The Comets are 2-1. Saturday afternoon, a 2 o'clock start time. Now, that's a little different. Last one, the 2 o'clock, middle of the day, a little different than what we're used to.
Yeah, it is a little bit different. I'm glad it's a home game for us. We can kind of get into a routine, and it doesn't change a lot. We don't have to travel across the state, and so it is a little bit different, but it should be good weather. We're looking forward to it.
All right. Matt McIntosh on tonight. Coach, good luck to you. Thanks for the time.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Nate.
All right, thanks for stopping by. Rapid City Christian football update. First-year head coach Matt McIntosh of the Comets doing a nice job there. I mean, they're 2-1, beat Lee Deadwood, overtime thriller. And St. Thomas More game was competitive. The Cavaliers, I think, are a good team now. I mean, I think St. Thomas More's got a good team. They got a freshman quarterback that's had to step in, but And then the Rapid City Christian beats Custer last week on the road. So the Comets, they got pounded by Mount Vernon Plankinton last year. That was a big pounding. Can the Comets step in and make it competitive Saturday? We'll have it on Fox Sports Rapid City, live coverage with Jerome Wickersham and Dean Gurr. 2 o'clock start time right here. Good to talk to Matt McIntosh, 2-1 Rapid City Christian head coach. We are going to come right back with who's hot and who's not. Okay, do you know what's going on with Rapid City's own? Do you know what's going on with Rapid City's own on a major level? I'll fill you in next if you don't.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
At Ace Steel and Recycling in Rapid City, our goal is to make recycling your materials so quick, so easy, and so profitable that you'll become a lifetime recycler. At Ace Steel and Recycling, we buy, process, and ship scrap iron, automobiles, stainless steel, and aluminum, including cans and cast. We also buy insulated wiring, as well as copper, brass, lead, batteries, zinc, and tungsten carbide. Visit acesteelusa.com or give us a call at 342-8649. Ace Steel and Recycling, 2830 Eglin Street, Rapid City.
Stuck in a state of falling behind? Struggling to keep up with your kids, your finances, your insurance, your life? This is State Farm Agent Matt McCormick. Let me help you simplify and get to a better state. With me handling your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time to handle everything else. Even more money, too. Because adding State Farm policies can earn discounts that could add up to 40%. Call me, State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, and get to a better state with State Farm. 348-0464.
Live from the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Details Studio. Sales, service, and recreation. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
All right, let's roll with this on a Wednesday night. Who's hot and who's not every night at this time. Brought to you by the Pizza Ranch. It's dinner time. That's why we do it right now. It's dinner time at the Pizza Ranch Buffet. Kids night tonight. One child 12 and under eats free for every regular priced adult. Wednesdays, Pizza Ranch Buffet. 2 locations, Rapid City. Rapid City Pizza Ranch South has the expanded Fun Zone Arcade. If you haven't seen it yet, really good. More party rooms, the whole thing. Come for the best buffet in town. Stay for the fun. Rapid City Pizza Ranch. Kids night tonight. Buffet open till 8 tonight. Who's hot category? I'm going to throw this out there. You got to stay aware of this. You got to stay up to speed on this. I watched this game last night. The Las Vegas Aces beating Connecticut last night. The WNBA Finals. And, of course, the Las Vegas Aces head coach, Becky Hammond. So Las Vegas is up in the series 2-0. This is a best of 5. Best of 5. Now it goes to Connecticut. I believe Game 3 is tomorrow. I think Game 3, they're already going to play tomorrow. Becky Hammond, head coach of the Las Vegas Aces, Rapid City's own. Really close to a WNBA championship. And that would be something. She always got questioned about NBA. Is she going to get a job, this and that? She's got the Las Vegas Aces really close to a WNBA title. They're up 2-0 in that series. In our Pizza Ranch Who's Not category, this was an easy pick for me. Pro Football Talk. You know Mike Florio. He does a lot of work there. Pro Football Talk. Nice site. I mean, it's interesting. It's really good stuff. He put out his power rankings today. You know, after week one. He's like, okay, we're going to move some teams around. In my Pro Football Talk Who's Not category, he put the Denver Broncos at number 24. Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk. The Broncos are going to be fine. I don't know who needs to hear it, but Mike Florio does, and maybe some people around here need to hear it. The Denver Broncos are not the 24th best team in the NFL. They're not the 24th best team in the NFL. 24 out of 32? He has them down there with the Panthers, the Giants, the Bears. Mike, take it easy. Get plugged in. The Broncos are going to be just fine. Did you watch the game, Mike? They fumbled twice going into the end zone. That's unheard of. So, 24th best team, you're out to lunch. And we are out tonight. Back tomorrow at 4. Thanks for listening to the Nate Brown Show. I appreciate that. Enjoy your night. The Odd Couple takes over right now.
It's Broussard and Rob Parker.